All right, so I don't know why this is showing this way. Well, the if you're just joining, you're welcome. So the first thing I want to talk about this morning is about the FAAC. FAAC. FAAC is the Federation Account Allocation Committee. Now, report has shown that these guys they take money from VAT, all the tax we pay, and all those small money they deduct from our accounts. When you transfer 10,000 naira, you know that 50 naira will be taken from your account. Now that money has been sent to governors. Look at this. Lagos, right, has gotten about 200.21 billion naira. Delta State has gotten about 140. This is what? In 3 months. 3 months as allocation. 3 months allocation. Delta State 443.41 billion. Rivers 123.96 billion naira. Bayelsa 114.48 billion naira. Akwa Ibom 109.76 billion naira. Kano 75 billion naira. Oyo 68.98 billion naira. Ondo State 53.50 billion. Jigawa 55.74 billion. Katsina 52.58 billion. Borno 52.38 billion naira. Anambra 52.17 billion. Benue 50.67 billion. Imo 50.31 billion. And Adamawa 47.92 billion naira. Abia 47.90 billion. Edo 47.87. KB 47.53 billion. These are all billion naira that has gone to the states. Niger State 48.37, Sokoto 48.31, Zamfara 46.17, Kogi is how much? 45.96 billion. Enugu 45.67 billion. Plateau 43.62 billion naira. Nasarawa 43.53 billion naira. Yobe 42.91 billion. All this money in space of 3 months. Kwara 42.31 billion. Taraba 42.62 billion. Kaduna, how much? 41.80 billion. Bauchi 41.17 billion. Osun 40.53 billion. Ebonyi 39.46 billion. Gombe 37.90 billion. Ogun State 36.14 billion. And then Cross River 35.15 billion. Lastly, we have Ekiti State 17.12 billion. What are our governors doing with this money? This is FAAC, right? And FAAC stands for Federation Account Allocation Committee. Now they release this data that in the space of 3 months, this is the money that has been sent to the governors. This money was taken from you and I. The garri we buy, the tomato we buy. Anytime you transfer money above 10,000 naira, 50 naira is taken from your account. Some of this money, they put them in a pool. In that pool, federal government first take their share. This is why I'm exposing Tinubu to you. This is why many of these governors are saying Tinubu must continue. One even said, we must vote Tinubu because it's our in-law. He's not telling you the truth. Now, why is this important? These guys, the governors, when they get this money, what they're supposed to do is to develop, right? They will now appoint a particular company that they know. They will sign a contract such that a particular percentage of that money enters into their pocket. So the company signs a project, let's say like they are supposed to do a project with like 10 billion. 10 billion. The company can sign 15 billion. 15 billion goes into, as a matter of fact, ADC has alleged that APC has moved about 800 billion in total across 36 states from this allocation to fund Bola Ahmed Tinubu's campaign program. Where do you think they are getting money to buy bus? All the billboards. It's from all of this money. These are the hidden things that they will not want you to see. We here, we expose it to you, we open it. So these are the money that they are using to fund the campaign program. All the loopholes, the money they are cutting. When you remember carefully, when Tinubu came into office, the first thing he did was to increase the salary of politicians. Because he has second term in mind. He knows that some of his policy may not favor the common man. And he's aware that poverty is a tool. They monetize poverty. Always remember that a poor man spends more. Let me digress a little bit. As a poor man, if you go to market to buy, say you bought gongoni, like a bottle, this tin milk of oil, by the time you will buy one bottle, you would have spent more than the person that is buying bottle. If you go to be buying bottle, by the time you buy up to a jerry can, you would have spent like almost times 2 of the person that just bought a jerry can. Are you getting it? So they weaponize poverty, knowing fully well that these governors have removed from some of these allocations and kept allegedly to sponsor the campaign. They will now give them rice. So that rice and oil and semovita, I think it's Golden Penny they are located this project too. So all of those things, they will use it to buy their votes. Because these people are hungry. The policies that he's setting is only, when you are doing something outside, like if you're a father and you are doing something outside, they'll be saying, this man is a good man. He's donating money to the church. But his children are suffering in the house. They are not able to have money to eat. But he is occupying a position in the society or in the church where people are praising him that, this man is doing well. See the way he paints their house. The outside of their house is looking fine. But deep within, inside the house, they have not floored the ground. They can wash their hand inside the pothole that's inside their house. That is exactly what Tinubu is doing. So that's like the first topic I wanted to share with you guys today, which is the hidden deduction that they don't talk about. Before money reaches governor, they have deducted the money. Right? They have deducted that money. Even Tinubu themselves, like from the federal government, they deduct the money. Now, governors are supposed to actually use this money to do things, but now they are servicing debts. They are paying previous debts. Are you getting me? So these are the things that they are doing. They are not just servicing debt alone, they are deducting a part of it. Now, lastly, before we go to the next topic, many of you have been complaining that the state governors are supposed to protect the people, the citizen in the state. Yes, governors are the chief security officer, but according to the 1999 constitution, right, the governors don't have access to the armed forces. If a governor is going to issue an order, the order will have to be sent to Abuja. They will have to approve it by the federal government. That's why Seyi Makinde of Oyo State cannot do anything much. Are we together? He can't do much as to rescue those children. The order must be issued by the federation. That is the loopholes of our constitution at the moment. Are you getting me? Guys, if you're understanding me, I need to be seeing our comments. Exactly. So that's what they are doing. Exactly what they are doing. So now, there's something that is creeping in gradually. It is really crazy. There's something that's creeping in gradually in Nigeria. We are almost gradually entering into war. If you check the demands of these bandits, yes, what they did, they requested that the law, Sharia, should be imputed into the law. After requesting 1 billion naira, they requested that Sharia should be imputed into that law. They requested that the people that they have arrested, the bandits they've arrested, should be released to them. There's sense in what they are doing. We are not talking about this thing because they have a sponsor. All this movement started from the days of Goodluck Ebele Jonathan by Shekau. So he has started this movement after they captured him. His disciples decided to start it in another way. They paint it and bring it. So they don't use the regular bombing anymore. That time, if you remember, it was just conventional bombing. They enter this place, bomb it. They enter that place, bomb it. Now they no longer bomb. They no longer bomb. All they just do is to go and set different camps because, bro, 360 persons were released in Bruno. Ask yourself, How are they feeding these people? The people in Brunei that were released, how were these 360 people feeding? If they don't have a higher hand somewhere that is sponsoring them, how are they getting to eat? So these children, now, I understand that many are angry. Remember, we posted a video recently how that this guy was Adelabu's sister was the kidnappers were captured and they were released. Not so. Now, understand this one thing. We are not saying that because they got released now is not, but you can see how they swing swiftly into action as to getting those ones, because those guys were not in the forest. Those guys are politically, I can allegedly say those ones were politically, instigated, because now Adelabu is running for governor. So all of these things is to disorient or distort his political campaign structure at the time. So these are not bandits. Those ones are kidnappers. And one of the things you must understand, that kidnapping is funded by poverty. The chief funder of kidnapping is poverty. People need money. And if I can kidnap somebody who is prominent, I can get an amount of money for ransom. I will escape the country. Do you understand? So, but kidnapping is different. We are at war. They are already trying to infiltrate everywhere. If they collect that 1 billion naira, guess what? That is a decoy. They have money because they have sponsors. They will set up another place again, either in Oyo State, or they can go to Ondo, they can go to Ekiti or another state. And then slowly, if President Bola Ahmed Tinubu does not act fast against these people, one of the things, if I would recommend, is we don't have enough birds in the air. You know what birds in the air are? Those are those jets. Those jets that that can fly across a forest environment and then do some critical scan. The question I want us to be asking, I would love to ask you if you have answer to it in the comment section. When Donald Trump said he was going to help us, I thought that by now he should have been able to assist us with some of those, those their jets, those their birds in the air that they can use to just survey those, and especially this one that's happening in Oriri local government. They are in the forest. It is clear that they are in the forest. So if they have those kind of drones, big ones, they will be able to know where they are. So we are at war slowly, and they want to take Sharia into Nigeria. And very soon, these guys are requesting for ransom like they are operating in a parallel government with Nigeria. And our government are not taking heed. So this is not just about Islam. Even the Muslims will suffer for where this country is going through with the banditry. Even the Muslims are bound to suffer loss if our government does not take charge. And this is not about the governor of your state. Remember, I've talked about the allocation they are receiving and all of that. It's about the commander-in-chief of the armed forces himself. Remember in 2014, Tinubu said that the bulk of the security of the nation starts and ends at the table of the president. Now, he is the president. He should take charge. Now, who are those behind this? There's an ISWAP. ISWAP have connection with this. The Boko Haram has connection with this. The Lokora network have connection with this. And then the economy. The economy itself, people are the money they are getting. The money they are getting. Now they know that the federal government have allocation from FAAC, as I've shown you guys earlier. So they want to take a piece of that money. This is the whole idea of what they are doing, to take a piece of that money. And when they get that part of that money, they can now what? we are at war, bro. Guys, we are at war. All of these things that has now reached, it has moved from Boko Haram. It has moved from the north to the southwest. Gradually, we are at war. So, Seyi Makinde, you people might think Seyi Makinde alone is responsible for this. No. He is. The money that's getting into his hand are for a little bit of security and all of that, maybe for among citizens and all of that. But when it comes to insecurity, when it comes to banditry, that FAAC money, there's an allocation that goes to the federation that is supposed to sponsor and fund the armed forces. When you look at this total money, let me show you again. When you look at this total money, you will think that all of this money, these are the money they use for roads, These are the money they use for maybe for lights, and some of these things they are still failing. Why? Because there's an alleged information that they have removed a part of that money to sponsor Bola Ahmed Tinubu's campaign. Now they are sponsoring Bola Ahmed Tinubu's campaign and also, funding their pockets. Many of our governors are Judases. Many of them are Judases. That's why they are saying, on your mandate, we shall stand. That's the idea of your mandate. On your mandate, we shall stand is because there is a money these governors are getting. So they have to stand on that Bola Ahmed Tinubu's mandate so that the money that is coming from them, we get it to them. I repeat it again. If Adams Oshiomhole in the house was questioning, okay, let me not even go there. Remember Wike? How many of you remember Wike? If you remember, let me know in the comment section. How that Wike built a building recently. What happened to the building? It collapsed, Abi. You know why? That is the exact prototype of what has been happening in many states. Some of these projects are not given based on competence. They are given based on the person that can be loyal to them. The person that can write a project of 12 billion as 22 billion. That is the mass. So the remaining 10 billion can now enter. There's an allocation because Bola Ahmed Tinubu will supervise everything. So that 10 billion, there is a percentage that goes into a purse for the campaign of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. All this is allegedly, and trust me, these are research. They are not just, you don't find them anywhere. They are research. They fund allegedly, according to ADC, they have moved some amount of money. The rest, they keep it in their pockets. That's why, while children are being kidnapped in Oyo State, are sleeping inside cold, Remi Tinubu is giving APC women leaders cars. That is the idea. The APC is the template of the APC. That's how they are running it. They don't care who dies. They don't care who lives. Their own is to sponsor the agenda. And their agenda is that Tinubu wins again. So all the governors, including the ones in your party that you think is your party, all the governors are working for him. The Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He wants, even the ones in PDP states, they are working for him because the money that is released to them. One of them even said that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the Biafra we have been looking for. Why? It's the money. Yoruba says, that is what they are eating. Is fuel their mother. There's a way you will eat a particular food now, they will say, how are you? Because the food has choked you. So, and anyone who tries to rebel, like Oyo State governor, who decides to come out, to come and oppose his commander-in-chief of the armed forces, to come and run as president, jeopardizes the security of his state. Forget that in the eye of Ayoshe was saying, that if this thing is orchestrated in a way, it's called gaslighting. If you are Yoruba here, there's this proverb, I will say it again. Aitete mole, olema moloko. Like, if I have a farm, like I'm currently facing a farmland right now, and this farmland has maize on it, I'm the owner of the farm. There's a way a thief will enter this farm, and it's a community, and the thief now comes to pluck my maize, and then the community people don't really know if I'm the owner of the farm. Now, if I come there and I saw the person, cutting the maize, and I refuse to, shout on time that, thief, what are you doing there? And I'm just saying, the thief can choose to start raising alarm and say, guys, look at thief in my farm. Now, they don't know who is the owner of the farm yet. They will gather me until I show them proof that I'm the owner of the farm. Before they will say they want to check, the guy that raised the alarm has disappeared. That is why Goodluck Ebele Jonathan said something recently. I watched this morning. He said, in any community where a thief can tell you to go to the court, just know that that his brother is under the judge or the lawyer or the judge. So his brother is in charge. Which community do you think that happens better? In Nigeria. Yes, in Nigeria. So, bro, let's talk about lastly the $1 billion betrayal. Now, Nigeria is collapsing, yeah? But governors are collecting money. If only the constitution can be amended, right? if the constitution can be amended, let me read this thing for you. The 1999 constitution, right, has a design flaw. That one is what is killing Nigeria. Listen, governors are called chief security officers of their state, but the constitution in section 215, it places Nigerian police force under the president, that is controlled through the inspector general of police. Are you guys following me? So a governor can give direction to the commissioner of police, but the commissioner of police will go back to Abuja and ask the president if I can do what this governor asked me to do. So you would have blaming Sheyi Makinde and blaming governors alone because of the FAAC. Think again. Think about what that means. Bandits are moving through Oyo Forest with military precision. The governor will call the police. The police will say, okay, wait, so let me check in Abuja first. Let me call the Abuja first. Now, by the time the federation, and you know, if you have ever been in a place where they pass files, you know that we are not automated, we're not yet computerized yet. INEC said they are bigger serving issue. So before they will carry that file and pass the file through Abuja, before you know, these guys, these bandits, the terrorists, they know these things. They know the constitution of Nigeria more than us. Now listen, this is what the constitutional scholars call accountability without authority. The governor is now blamed. The president will now be escaping blame, which is what some of those people that designed that picture are saying. Go and call your governor. Stop putting the blame only at me, Tinubu. It is the president, and this is where Nigeria is caught in the middle. Are you getting me? Now let's follow the Bonny trail. States receiving over 15 trillion naira combined in 2024 alone from FAAC. In a well-functioning country, the money goes to road, the money goes to hospitals, this money goes to community and local intelligence. In a good community. Are you guys following me? That is in a functioning society. Now, that kind of money should help us fight against any crime and terrorism. But what's happening? In Nigeria, the pattern is we use the money only for salaries, we use the money only for debt repayment, we use the money for politicking, for politics. Are you seeing the amount of cars that these governors used to use? When Peter Obi came into office, he exposed a lot about the governors. If a governor finishes, like a governor finishes serving, there's an allocation for land, for some buildings and that they give to him. There's an allocation for some money that is used to sponsor government. They use those money for politics. Are you getting it? Research from both IT and others consistently shows that capital expenditure, money actually spent on building things, is chronically underfunded compared to recurrent spending, which is basically keeping governments running and keeping political allies happy. The money they are spending in their, like, to run the governments, that's why the governors are happy. Till tomorrow they will be singing, on your mandate, Bola, on your mandate, Bola, on your mandate, we shall stand. Because the money that is used to fund their governance is a lot higher than any other country of the world. So that's why the ADC has recently alleged that about 800 billion from the total money, you know, when you remove from here, remove from here, remove from here, remove from here, cut from here, cut from there, about 800 billion, right, has been siphoned from that FAAC funds, from that fund I showed you guys earlier, about 800 billion. And what is the 800 billion used to do? To fund Bola Ahmed Tinubu's campaign. Now, if the allegations is true, which it has not been proven yet, and yet it has not been disproven. It has not been proven, it has not been disproven. Nobody has come to say ADC is lying. That allegation is online. Go and check for it. Search, you find it. Then your governor's security failure is not about incompetence. It is a deliberate choice. A choice to prioritize 2027 over our safety. Are you seeing it? Our governors, in conjunction with the president, have chose to prioritize their pockets, their Judases. They have chose to prioritize their big cars. They have chose to prioritize them looking like governors, like Remi Tinubu said, that we are politicians and we should look like politicians. Let the politics be shown on us. So 5 women leaders, I have given you people cars. The cars are yours to keep. During Goodluck Jonathan's time, we had the wife of the president who was like, there is God, oh, principal. Where are the children? The wife of the president is calling you, want to help you find your missing child. Oh, principal, only you can come. But we have a wife of the president now that is politicking despite such insensitivity. You should read the room, the optics, the timing. And this is a pastor in RCCG. That's who she is, a pastor in RCCG. She knows what it means for you to care for the poor. She knows what the Bible says about the brokenhearted. She knows what the Bible says. She's a pastor in Redeem. Now, let's talk about this one, yeah? The ransom economy and who it funds. Who does this ransom economy fund? Now, this is a cycle Nigeria must understand. The kidnapping gangs demand ransom. Governors will either pay or families will pay. The money funds more weapon. The money will be used for what? More operation, more recruitment. The group grows. They become what? Bolder and stronger. This was why I advised on my page. I advised Very Dark Man, don't try that rubbish. Very Dark Man was going to raise what's it called? GoFundMe to rescue the children. Don't try it. They have been looking for means to arrest you before. Very Dark Man. Imagine you are now opening a GoFundMe. They will arrest him for terrorism financing. That's what they were arresting for. As simple as that. So, like, now, the bandits are becoming bolder. Imagine that they are requesting for Sharia law in Ibadan to be implemented. Are you seeing all of these things? Now, security experts are warning that ISWAP, the Islamic State West African franchise, is actively pushing southward towards Nigeria and using bandits as a network, as an entry point. The fact that Oyo kidnapping ransom account is in the Republic of Benin should tell you something. It tells us that this is a cross-border operation. We are slowly going into war. The forest corridors between Nigeria and Benin and Niger are the highways. Or Niger, yeah, Niger. They are the highways of this insurgency. So we are at war. I don't know. I saw a video once that recently now that they are discriminating a Fulani guy. This is not the regular Nigerian Fulani men. These are bandits from those places like Chad, the J Republic, Benin Republic, all of these places. They are, oh God, and they were brought in by certain persons, allegedly. They were brought in. They had a route. Now, they are done with them. They can no longer live there. You know the way you will plant something and you will cut it down. But the roots, even the Bible says there's hope for a tree. The moment water comes on it, will sprout out again. That's exactly what is happening now. Let's talk about what this means for 2027. We'll be rounding up here. Let's bring this whole thing for 2027 election. Huh? Every candidate will now come to you and tell you that they have a plan. Listen carefully to this part. Oh. Every single candidate, presidential candidate, will tell you that they have a plan. Even Showore will tell you that what? He has a plan. They will be showing you big manifestos about the security and development. Showore this morning was saying that why would we be enforcing forest guard for Oyo State kidnapping? And he's right. He's right. Because we're talking about people that have ammunitions, gone, big AK-47. The government, the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, is saying he's deploying 1,000 forest guard. How many of you remember his campaign promise, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, where he said, recruit 50 million youths and let them take away from the recruitment source. What will they eat? Agbado, cassava, corn, yam is growing here. When you recruit. If you can cock a gun, you can be in the army. Please, how many of you have gotten employment from Bola Ahmed Tinubu to be in any army, any intelligence force whatsoever? How many of you? I was already ready. I started doing press up. When I saw that he entered, but maybe they will still employ me into the army. At least, if they do me and I die, they will give my family 50 million. Abi? I died for a good cause. I died protecting Nigeria. But have we seen anything? Nothing. All of these things were just word of mouth. What about when he said, if you don't have electricity and I come for second term, don't vote for me? This is... Let's continue. When Listen, oh, but the question you must ask every single one of them is this: when you were governor, when you were a senator, when you were a minister, you received FAAC allocation. You are wiser today. I have told you what that FAAC allocation, and let me give you a refresher course for those of you that are just joining. That FAAC allocation is not just to governors alone, both to local governments and state of reps, house of reps, both to senators. They collect it. Huge amount of money. You see all those 50 naira that they used to come out when you sent 10,000 naira. They are removing that money and sending it to those senators. Those money going to a pool, all those taxes, everything they want to be cutting. That's what he said. God will bless you immensely, my brother. Tinubu is aware. It was part of the arrangement agreement during Buhari time. Yes, they know what they are doing. Tinubu immediately came. He removed the subsidy, and the only people that can rebel against him, he increased their salaries. You guys should understand that this thing is a mess, and they are using our tears, like they are swimming in our tears, our suffering. The money from your gari that you bought yesterday, the money from the tomato you bought in the market yesterday, I'm sure you spent above 10,000 naira. 50 naira was deducted. Oh, you guys don't even understand. You don't understand. You don't even understand what these guys are doing. When you see a governor open his mouth and say, if you want to campaign for a president to continue, you will campaign based on what the antecedent, what the incumbency has done, right? What the work he has done in his first term. But imagine a governor coming to campaign that Tinubu should enter again. He said, because it's our in-law. Does it make sense to you? He said he's our in-law. He married from. So you can see that these guys are crazy. Because 2027 is not just an election. It is a referendum on whether Nigerian will continue to accept a system where governors receive billions and deliver nothing. 2027, we must all get our PVC. We must all what? Get our PVC. Nigeria will not continue to accept governors who receive billions and deliver nothing. We president who controls security is putting the blame on the governors. Hey God. He blaming governor for his own failures. And where the real victim are 45 children in Orire and others that are kidnapped in Bruno and other states. The families cannot afford. Our families cannot afford school fee. But listen, our VAT is what they are eating as their income. They are eating it as their income. The young Nigerian who see no future in this country is suffering because our government is failing. The politicians are not going to save you, but an informed electorate, people who understand the numbers, who can ask the right questions, who will refuse to be divided by tribe or by religion, while both groups are being looted equally. That is the only Nigerian real weapon. Bro, what we need is a Nigeria who will not be divided by, oh, this person is an Igbo, he cannot rule us. This person is an outside, he cannot rule us. Somebody the other day I was talking and I described the things Peter Obi did in Anambra. I was like, wow, you got my like. That you are even a Yoruba person talking about. Oh, bro, it's not about Peter Obi. If his name was to be Bashiru, that Peter Obi man, if his name was to be Bashiru, I would have spoken about him that way because we are talking about facts here, not sentiment, no propaganda. They brought in a criminal from neighboring countries to vote for APC. Criminals, and criminal with structure, only God will help us in Nigeria. This is a structure. APC is a structure of criminals. I repeat it again. APC is a structure of criminal. And if they want to pick me up for it, I will ask them to go and pick Yaya Bello and Okowa. Yaya Bello has crime on his head, yet he won his senatorial primary election. Somebody who has fraud case of almost billion on his head, Yaya Bello is working free. The state's money of Kogi people, Yaya Bello. What about Okowa, who has fraud case also already in court? Yes, they are not being pleaded guilty yet, but their EFCC has posted the account charge for them. Yet they are running. Are you supposed to still be running when there's a case that you are still pursuing, not yet concluded? How many of you remember Oladimeji Bankole? How many of you remember, if you're a politician, you follow politics in this country, you remember Oladimeji Bankole? Bro, I thought that man we rot in jail. Newsflash, Oladimeji has been cleared of all his fraud. I mean everything. All his fraud. Go and search the crimes of Oladimeji Bankole, the House of Representative leader at that time. Bro, very soon you will not hear of Emefiele again. If Emefiele settles the right persons, you will not hear of all this count charge anymore. This is the country we live in. This is the Nigeria we live in. Where you can just know out, if you wash that money very well, you are gone. Like, you will win. Bro, we are being betrayed. The full picture is this. Billions is flowing through the FAAC every month. Security is crumbling because what? The money is going where? Into politics. Instead of what? We, the people. The billions that's supposed to be we're supposed to be seeing in our roads. Many of you can still attest that our roads are still in a dilapidated state. Yet, they will remove the subsidy money. They started charging us 50 naira. Bro, just go and calculate the amount of 50 naira government has removed from your hand. Only in the month of May. The amount of 50 naira government has removed from you alone. Not to talk of the millions of people in Nigeria. Now, armed groups are expanding in the south with new ideology, new weapons, and international fundings. And the constitutional structure was designed, whether internationally or not, to ensure no single person is ever truly accountable. So now the president will say, go to your governors. The governor will say he is the chief of armed forces. So who are we to blame? Is it Sheyi Makinde? Is it President Bola Ahmed Tinubu? The constitution has that loophole in it. Bro, guys, those of you that follow from the beginning of this video, you now know more than just any Nigerian, right? You know how this country now actually works. You now know that there's a money that they're deducting from you, from tax, from everything. That money from subsidy is not the only money alone. Then when to subsidy alone, we would have said, okay, it's just money for subsidy. But they're still taking from you, taking 50 naira from you. Then, by the time this year will end, the tax, many will cry, problem with you. You know, they have announced it now. People are saying as if it's nothing. Hey, yeah. When they start deducting money from your accounts in a country that is not working. I'll go back again. As a cost of random. This is the amount. This is the amount that state governors have received. Now, the person that designed this picture is saying that Tinubu is telling them to go back to these state governors. That in 3 months, they have received billions. But the truth is that that's not the whole story. That's not the full story. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has the full command. You know better now. Make sure you go get your PVC. This is where we call it the end for this content today. For today, please, everybody get your PVC. Our power lies when we get our PVC. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you for joining this live stream. We'll see you on the next one.